Welcome back, you lovely faces, folks. When you scour the internet and you're looking for different movie websites and you're trying to look for certain superhero content, they normally all come along with the same type of article, but sometimes they word it differently. Some of them, they are literal copy and paste from other websites and they literally do not care about it, which is absolutely insane. But this one by here I came across. The success of James Gunn's Superman is more crucial to Warner Brothers than anyone realised. Now, first of all, with that title, my mind straight away went to how big of a disaster Joker 2 was. Because it was like, what? $250 million budget or whatever, something insane. And look how much it failed. And obviously, when the first one is a multi-Oscar winning movie, and obviously it made over $1 billion, they were like, right, we need another one. But then you think of the other films that Warner Brothers have released over the last year or two. And actually, if you think about it, if you go back to the Joker release, there hasn't really been any big movies that Warner Brothers has released that has made over $1 billion. And then you think, you know what? Superman is meant to be this brand new launching pad for James Gunn and Peter Safran. Maybe he may be going. Their DCU. And Superman is the starting point for it. They're the ones who are like, right, okay, we're going to put this film out. It's going to launch the new universe and it's going to make a boatload of money. That's what they're thinking. So, with this article, the stakes for Superman are even higher than we thought. It's not just about launching DC's universe, but as Warner Brothers Discovery's future as a whole could depend on it. And now there's even talks that Peter Safran, one half of the DC Studios leadership team, could be shifting roles to take over Warner Brothers Pictures. They haven't even got the first film out of the gate yet, and one half of the leadership is already, well, supposedly, being pinched to go to another department. Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi's time as Warner Brothers Pictures co-chiefs has been rough. Outside of Barbie, yeah, that's the only one they've done that's made over $1 billion, the studio has struggled to produce consistent hits. The latest disappointment, Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17, which to be honest with you looks absolutely amazing and I will watch it, but you know, it's literally bombed at the box office. And this is a guy who is a multi-Oscar winner himself. But then there's Joker 2. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav has been pushing cost-cutting measures, yet the studio gave Todd Phillips $200 million to make what is essentially a high-budget musical sequel designed to satisfy his and Joaquin Phoenix's creative itch. I still haven't seen Joker 2 and I doubt I will. I'm not a big fan of musicals, but when you have the first film, which, if you literally take out the Joker aspect, it's Martin Scorsese's. It is. It's Martin Scorsese's Mean Streets by way of Goodfellas and whatnot, with certain character development. But then you give them that much money and they're like, we're going to make a musical. What? You know? But then obviously Zaslav is already unpopular in Hollywood for scrapping Batgirl and Coyote versus Acme. And with that there, you got people who are saying, obviously, that Batgirl, you know, it was an actually finished film. They had like a few effects where they needed just to spruce up and get it out there. But then he's like, oh no, it's a $90 million write-off. It's a tax release, which is absolutely insane. But then, Coyote versus Acme, which is another hybrid like, Looney Tunes back in action and all that kind of stuff, where this was actually shown to a number of people and they all raved and loved it. That's what I find absolutely insane. But then now he's considering a major shake-up by replacing DeLuca and Abdi. One name at the top of the list, Peter Safran. If that happens, James Gunn could be left running DC Studios solo, or someone else could replace him. The pressure on Superman has escalated significantly. According to Puck, the film has taken on an almost incalculable importance for Warner Brothers. Well, yeah, literally in the last couple of years, like I say, the only one film that's made over $1 billion since Joker Part 1 is Barbie. It's absolutely insane that they can't do all of these films, and some of the films that have been released since then, they've been great. Personally, I think it's just very poor management at Warner Brothers. I really do. But then you cut by here then, there's real fear that the company could suffer the same fate as 20th Century Fox, struggling to stay afloat until a larger entity swoops in and absorbs it. Just with that by there, could you imagine if Disney bought Warner Brothers and DC? That would be insane. You could literally have on screen Spider-Man against Batman. You really could. But that's if they bought them. But I don't think Disney wants to buy something else like that at this moment, because Marvel is not exactly doing great. Star Wars and all of Lucasfilm is not doing great. Pixar have done good, but again, that's because they reverted back to what made Pixar special. So it's interesting to see what's going to be happening. But then it goes, one insider veteran laid it out clearly: an essential element of the stock price is believing that the IP of DC is meaningful. Zaslav bet big that they can show the world that the DC IP can have real value. Superman is the first movie. That will set the tone. They have a tremendous amount riding on it. Well, yeah, they will. Because when you're looking at a film which, again, is costing, what, $150 to $250, and you've kind of cast not an unknown, but a relatively unknown actor. You know, some people know him. I know him from the film Pearl. That's what I know him from. And it's like, right, okay, you know, he could be good as Superman. But the things that they've shown of Superman, there's only been a couple of images and a couple of sequences which that looks great. But then it's a bit like, oh, well, you know, is this going to be another Guardians of the Galaxy sort of thing? Is he going to just layer it with a lot of just music that's already out there? Or are they going to have an actual score? Because that's what these type of movies need. Certain characters, you can't just put any music out that's currently out in the world into a film. You can't. Superman, Spider-Man, Batman. You can't really put those type of music into it. You just really can't. They need their own scores because of the tone and the way it all looks. Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yes, because they've grown up with AC/DC and, you know, Beastie Boys and all of that. But when you look at Superman, you would think Superman needs his own score. And to be honest with you, that John Williams theme, but on guitar, amazing. But then it goes for here that we all assumed that Superman flopping would spell trouble for DC Studios, but we now know it's bigger than that. If Gunn's reboot underperforms, it could jeopardize the entire studio. Warner Brothers is banking on its DCU slate to be a guaranteed box office draw, but that's a tall order where the brand is already damaged, and superhero fatigue is in full swing. Yeah. This is why we're getting a lot of stuff that people are not really liking. And out of everything that has been out recently, in the last, 4 years? Maybe 5? The only films that people have really, really loved: The Batman, Spider-Man No Way Home, and of course, Deadpool Wolverine. When you look at some of the other ones, you know, it's alright, it's not great. Another personal opinion though, I think Shang-Chi is one of the best Marvel movies. It is so good. But then you have a film like Eternals. It's like, you're giving people the power and the money to make something which is going against the formula. Sometimes it works, but sometimes, and the majority of times, it doesn't. But as you can see by here though, you know, I think a lot of people are excited to see Superman. I know I am. But I'm more intrigued and more than, oh my god, this is excitement. I was so excited to see Deadpool and Wolverine, and that just blew my socks off because I absolutely love it. The Flash. The trailer, again, perfect marketing. They just emphasized nearly every single bit of promotion on Michael Keaton's Batman. That's what they did. And it says, you know, that I don't think it'll be the runaway hit that Warner Brothers hopes for. This isn't going to be a $1 billion box office movie. It's not. If the movie is great, I hope it hits the high box office numbers. To be honest with you, I'm looking between 700 and 900. That's what I think. But Superman is set to be the first major test directed by Gunn. The film promises a fresh take on the Man of Steel, which will balance epic action, humor, and heart with a Superman who embodies compassion and a belief in humanity's goodness. Who knows? You know, Superman is out obviously July the 11th, 2025. And I will be going to see it. I'm going to take my dad because it's actually his birthday that week as well. And he's looking forward to it because, again, he's grown up on the Superman movies when they first came out, you know. When the first one came out, my dad was My dad was like 16, 17 when it first came out, and he was like, oh my God, it's amazing. You know, it's that sort of thing. And then you had Man of Steel, which in my eyes is the best Superman movie. I really do think so. Henry Cavill is my Superman, and I think he's amazing. And it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Let us know down below, folks, what you think of this. If you entered the channel, like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.